Mike of the Week.
Next comic, give it loud for everybody for Anthony Eugenio. We're gonna have next comic. Very funny. Wayne Russell, everybody.
Welcome to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast.
And welcome back to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast. We are really excited to give you guys our first true episode of reviewing an open mic. I am your co-host, Anthony Eugenio, along with my much more beautiful co-host, Wayne Russell. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to get to, the open mic we're going to do this week. But first, I think we should talk about, we are going to go see the man, the machine, Bert Kreischer, on June 17th in Bank Pavilion, Guilford, New Hampshire. And we just want to let you guys, if there's anybody out there that's going to watch it and stuff, we're going to be filming TikToks. Go check out our TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be putting a lot of content out there.
Yeah, so we're going to be, we're on TikTok, Instagram. I'll try to be posting on Reddit. It's all at Open Mic Pain. So you'll be able to find us on there. Please go there, share it, like it, follow, all that stuff. There'll be a lot of cool stuff on there, especially when we're going to these shows. We're going to be doing our best to bring some content and some reviews and stuff that, some stuff that you'll see probably on the podcast and maybe some stuff that you won't. So,
and remember, hate mail at openmicpain.com. If you guys are going out there, send us an email and, we can always grab a drink or, in my case, a tremendous amount of cannabis. Either one. Gotcha.
There you go.
So what are you excited about for the Bert Kreischer? I mean, it's a whole list of people. You got any comics you're super pumped to see on there?
There is. So just to run down off the top of my head, it's Bert Kreischer, Tammy Pescatelli, I think is how you pronounce it, Tiffany Haddish, Dan Soder, Big J. Okerson, Jim Norton, Rich Voss, and then there's a couple DJs. I think I got all of them. I'm excited for all of them. If I had to pick my tops, Bert Kreischer is like a bucket list comedian. I love Bert. I love him on podcasts and stuff like that. His comedy doesn't hit home with me as much as some others, but I just think he's such a great personality. Jim Norton, I'm really excited about. I think he's probably the one I'm most excited about. Big J. Okerson, he's another one. All of them are fantastic. I can't wait. We're going to be 6 rows back.
Yeah, it's a great lineup.
Yeah, we're 6 rows back, so we're going to have like Bert Kreischer sweat in our mouth. So we're going to get like 70 proof sweat beads in our mouth.
Yeah, we're going to see him right after the movie has come out now for a little while. So whether or not there's still some glow on him.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm sure at some point we're going to give it a watch and let you guys know what we think of it. We're definitely going to give you an after show reaction to the Bert Kreischer tour. We're going to try to do that when there's big shows in the area that we go to. Like, look out for a September Bill Burr show.
Yep.
Where we'll let you know how that went as well. Because that's a big part of, we're going to talk about the open mics that we do here, but this is a comedy show. And we're going to talk about the big names in comedy as well. And love him or hate him, Bert Kreischer is up there as one of the best right now. So I think it's important that we illuminate that show and hope to see you guys there for sure.
100%.
Nice. So I think this is a good time. We've talked about the show. Let's segue into our Mike of the Week. Mike of the Week.
So this week we're going to be going to the Safe in Lowell. This is one of our favorite spots. We've been there. I think this is my 5th time or 6th time. I went there one time without Anthony. I just love it. It's such a welcoming community. I've met a lot of really friendly comics there. I could start naming them, but
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like John Wick would kill a bunch of Russians in this bar. It's like in the downstairs of I guess an old safety deposit building?
Yeah,
or whatever it is, right?
I'm not 100% positive, but I believe that there was a bank there, and I believe the safe was actually the safe of the bank. I could be 100% wrong on that, and please let us know if that's wrong, but yes. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, you can either, I think, on if you go any other night other than Tuesdays, at 8 o'clock, where the safe takes place on the comedy show. I'm pretty sure you just do a bunch of ecstasy there the rest of the nights of the week. They say they open at 10 p.m. on their sign, and if anything opens at 10 p.m., you got to be careful before you go in there, I imagine. But they're so nice. Every bartender is great, so I think you'd have a great time either way. But we want to go there this week, and we want it to be the first mic that we showcase because it's just a great atmosphere, great people. The Lowell comedy scene's great.
It is, and that's one of my favorite places to try new things because if they're so friendly there and so nice. If something bombs at the safe, ironically they call it the bomb shelter, but if something bombs at the safe, it's complete shit. Not saying they give you pity laughs, you get legitimate laughs, but I feel like if something doesn't go well, it a little more at the safe than you do anywhere else.
Yeah, I will say the safe is very good for letting the listening aspect of it. Like when I do a setup for a joke, there is basically complete silence in there. And because of that, everybody is hearing your setup, your pitch clearly. You have no excuse. If it goes down for a whimper, they listened.
That is true. That is one thing that I love about the safe is that there is a crowd there that is ready for comedy. And I've been there when people have come down expecting to just get, a couple drinks and chat and whatever. I don't want to say they get pushed out, but I feel like they don't feel like they fit on that particular night and they leave pretty quickly.
Sure.
There's been a couple nights I've seen people come down and they chat and whatever, and they last for like one comic and then they're gone.
Yeah, and that's okay because everybody that stays is fucking great.
That's
So
true.
at this open mic tonight, what are you going to try to do? Like, what is your plan?
So the last mic we did, we went back to the Laugh Attic above Strange Brew Tavern in Manchester, and
The return.
yep, yeah, that was my second time there, and I've been working on this joke. I call it Dick Talk. It's a it's about a guy being asked a question about sucking dicks, and that's about as much as I'll say. But I've done it, and it was about a minute and a half, 2 minute joke. And I would segue into something else, and it always got a laugh. And one night I just had a stroke of inspiration, and I sat down with a Word document, and I spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just analyzing the shit out of that joke, and that's what I'm going to try. So I'm really hoping that, it goes well. I took that a minute and a half, 2 minutes into a full 5 minute segment, 5 minute bit, and I've never done that before. Everything's always been 3, 4, 5 different jokes put together, but I have one premise. I'm going to run through an entire 5 minute set and see how it goes.
Yeah, I always thought that was mythical. I was like, how could somebody do one premise for 5 minutes? And I remember a couple weeks ago you sent me a Bill Burr 5 minute set, which if you haven't seen the Bill Burr YouTube 5 minute showcase that he did, and you're an open mic comic doing 5 minute sets, please go look at that setup because man, does he do a single premise 5 minute killer set so good. And I was like, man, I got to write myself a premise the last 5 minutes. So I'm excited to see yours.
Yeah. And I think this is a good time to say, we mentioned in the first episode, we are 100% new at this. We are not good. We're not funny. We might have some funny ideas, but this is definitely not anything that we are what you would consider to be good at. So to compare us to a Bill Burr would be like way out there. But it's definitely a goalpost. It's definitely something to say, all right, that's what I'm working towards.
Oh yeah. I did not mean that we were as good as Bill Burr, you crazy bastard.
Well, I didn't think you did. I didn't think you did, but
I said that was a good 5 minute set.
No, it 100% was. It 100% was. But I guess where I was going with that was for me, it was a step forward of going, okay, I never thought that I could put together a 5-minute set of anything, one-liners or even just rambling with no laughs, let alone trying to put together a 5-minute set on one particular premise.
Yeah, 5 minutes is a long time, and that's, I think, if you've never done stand-up before and you think like, oh, 5 minutes, I can talk for 5 minutes. Try to go and talk straight to somebody without interjection and be charismatic and interesting for 5 straight minutes. It's really difficult to do. It's a different, especially on a single topic, not to wear it out.
Yeah, 100%. On the flip side of that, it's amazing how fast 5 minutes goes.
Oh, when you're in the tunnel? Yeah, in the tunnel you're going 180 miles an hour, so everything goes fast.
Yeah.
But no, it's a long ways in actually writing material as it goes. Think about 5 minutes of television. It's a lot of writing that goes into that to bring you, a quarter of a show.
It's a shit ton. I was talking to a friend of mine about this 5 minutes, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah, it took a lot of time. He's like, well, I mean, it's 5 minutes. I was like, well, I've practiced the bit at the 2-minute level, as I mentioned in the previous episodes, while I'm driving around over and over and over. So figure a 10-hour day driving around, just saying it over and over and over again. And then actually writing it out and then going back and rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it. So that 5 minutes probably came out to about like between 5 and 8 hours of actual work trying to get it to where I am now. And that's nothing compared to what the professionals are doing, I'm sure, to get a 5-minute portion of their comedy to the level that it's at. I'm sure it's probably 10 times that. It's crazy what 5 minutes takes for energy and work to get to be a good 5 minutes of comedy.
Agreed. Tonight, I am not going to do a single premise. I have 3 premises tonight that I'm working on. One I wrote yesterday, so that is going to be interesting. It's always, you're so excited when you write a joke the day of or the day before. You have none of that fatigue, none of that is it funny? You're like, this is the funniest goddamn thing I've ever written in my entire life. And that's dangerous. So normally the advice is to open with something that is good, and then, throw in your new stuff and maybe finish with something is good as well. That way you get the energy up before you give them that you have no idea what's going on with or how that joke's going to go. But I'm going to open with the new one tonight. It just is a perfect segue into my second bit about prisons and the economics of them. And I love that bit very much. And that one normally does okay. So I'm going to start off with something fresh. My wife has asked me to write a joke about funny animal names for like 3 months now since we went over to England, whatever that was, a month ago. And she's been pestering me ever since. Like, you got to write a joke about funny animal names. So tonight, funny animal name joke for the wife.
You ran this one by me, and I can't wait to see it. I think this is absolutely hilarious. So I hope everybody else thinks it is as well.
And remember, she asked for it. So we're going to go to the safe now. We're going to, we'll give you some B-roll outside and show you what it looks like. And afterwards, we'll film a little reaction and let you know how we did. Hopefully we don't suck it.
Yeah, we look forward to doing it, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you on the flip side.
So I got that. Can I make eye contact? Ass! Yeah! Quite ironic. But yes, thank you for I don't have voices on. This is not a longevity body. As you turn to the artist, right? Listen, I pre-planned that joke with the realization of Casey. No sticks! Hello everyone, welcome to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast.
We are here at the Safe in Lowell, Massachusetts, where we just had pretty good sets. What do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, I think tonight was one of the nights where you realize everything that you do to write and perfect everything is worth it.
Yeah, every dick we've ever eaten is for a night like tonight.
Yeah, this is what you strive for, is nights like tonight for us. And not saying everything was perfect, but having a lot of people come up to you and fist pound and tell you how good it was, that really feels good. And tonight was one of those nights. Everything just seemed to hit for both of us, which is also
new material.
I didn't. I've been working on one bit, trying to make it into a full 5 minutes, and I think tonight I kind of cracked that code.
That was impressive. We had 5 full minutes, 1 premise, which that's just a dream for me. My limit is 3.
I never thought of writing a 5-minute set, let alone a 5-minute set on one particular premise, which it's wild. It makes a longer set seem a little more attainable.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we found that the Lowell and Manchester market seems to be one of the stronger ones for comedy in the area. There's a couple subcontexts, but it's weird that Lowell and Manchester are the two that are combined, but they do with a lot of great comics.
They have a lot of great comics, and everybody is very supportive. You go to these places in Lowell, Manchester, the Safe and Clemento's and Strange Brew, and everybody is there to watch comedy, and everybody is there to support you and try to make you better. And it feels like everybody just lifts everybody else up. And I feel like some of the comics I've seen in these places in this market do better in this area than when we see them in other places.
Yeah, it's a comfortable place to do comedy, especially because when you're doing your setups, the place is silent. There's no talking. There's nothing. They're listening to the bit that you have, which is it's really all you ask for. You're trying to write a bit, and when you do it in front of a crowd that's talking the whole time, you're like, is that unfunny or are people just cuts?
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely, the Safe is one of my favorite places. I drag you here all the time.
Yeah, this is, and we'll get into it in our bombs episode, but this was actually the scene of my very first, what I consider a super bomb.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a bomb. I think you did fantastic. I think you just got in your own head.
Forgot my set.
There was that too.
Forgot my set. Started talking about drowning animals. That's my go-to. That's my Pavlovian dead dog.
Yep. So going forward, I think from tonight on, every time we go to an open mic, this is the kind of setup we're going to have where we'll leave and we'll do a little bit of a review and how we felt about how the night went. Maybe we'll get a little more in depth on what we did different. We can't do that tonight because it's the first one, but what we did different, maybe things that helped us on stage, off stage. We'll do that moving forward.
And we'll see how it compares to what we thought we were going to do in the pre-show show. But that's it for tonight in the reaction. I think we did pretty good, and that is normally not how we feel after our shows.
Yeah, I'll say this tonight. We were just talking on the way over here, and we are definitely on cloud 9 because it was awesome for both of us. But it is not normally like that. Usually one of us does pretty well, and one of us doesn't do so hot. And just at least one of us doing good is always a good night for us. But tonight, having both of us, have multiple other comics come up and tell us how funny they thought we were was that's an anomaly, and hopefully it's like that going forward, but we know that that's not a probability.
And if you were a comic and you were here tonight and you want to come talk about shit like this after the show and say how the set went for you, especially if it went bad, because that'll be better for the show, come on.
Yeah, definitely feel free to hit us up. We have an email, hatemail@openmicpain.com. Feel free to hit us up. If we're at the same show, you're more than welcome to follow us out and be part of this conversation. This is what it's all about. We want to put this out there. We know there's not a lot out there for people that are aspiring to go up on stage, not only for the first time, but the 5th, 10th, 20th time. And I feel like this kind of encouragement is really going to help people follow that urge and that dream.
So come back next week for one more step to the quest for laughs. of the week.